My story, a little bit about me. I have background in architecture in Germany and got into Cobb building in 1994 with the Cobb Cottage. And Janto has ever since been my mentor and friend. I started teaching with him and later started Cobbworks with Pat and Tracy on Main Island. And I've been working in this general region, which is the west coast of BC, Canada, and a little bit into the States, and on one project in India. So it's making connections further than here. And then I did the Cobb workshop, and it gave me another way of looking at the world. And I don't think anybody can do it any better than Janto to give you that something. And it worked its way into my system over the years after. Like, it's way too much to get when you're sitting there with him, but ever so slowly you feel it coming through and out again. And it's been integrated, and it is now I'm basically living the reality that I saw as a possibility then. Well, when I'm looking at what I do now in terms of work, is I design houses like this. Almost all of the design work I do now is natural hybrid housing. Right now I've got one on the table that's not, but I teach people and I live with people who are about change in the world. So it's both my professional community as well as my heart family. It's all the same thing. I really felt that at the colloquium this fall. And I build part-time, so it's a nice flow of going inside and creating outward and then expressing and exploring with people, and then just getting really grounded by doing the work. That's a whole other feeling of accomplishment, right? At the end of the day, you're really tired and you know that you can see what you've done and your body can feel what you've done, and you sit down and celebrate, you know. And to be able to go through those cycles in the year is great. I like that a lot. And that's a really fortunate thing for me. Oh yeah, I forget. My teaching lately has been focused on longer programs, not so much workshops anymore, where people come and live and learn here at our eco-village for 10 weeks in the summertime. We live in camp together. And so it's all about community building, learning how to live and work together, which is personal leadership, which is communication, which is all the challenges around knowing yourself and respecting others. It's the fact that every building on this land will have to be permitted, and this one is permitted as well. It takes relationship building with engineers, and then our building codes here in Canada are changing. It's more a performance code that's being adopted, which in a way will help, and it'll make it more and more, I think, necessary for people to work with professionals. And in the end, it's about getting a permit. It's not about building to code, and to distinguish that one. That's what it is. It's the first thing what I tell people is it's not about building to code. There's no building code for Cobb, and I don't want one. It's about having a permit and working with somebody who will support you with that, and that's the engineer. And I think that sets us apart. Cobb works too. Those buildings have all been permitted too. But that does set us apart from what's been going on in the States for the most part. I know there's a couple that have had permits, but not much. I think it's more facing up to it. It's more going in there and working with them and doing it in the backwoods. As much fun as that is. It's way easier not to have a permit. That's not way easier, but it is easier.